All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Alaracanfieldshow, the Awaken Happiness Now global series. Thank you so much for being here with us today. I'm so excited to have my good friend, Beth Herndobler. I never know if I'm saying her Herndobler right, but that's how I say it. Thank you. Beth Herndobler is back with us, and we are going to be talking about manifesting miracles, creating life in the light of you. And so some of what we're going to discuss, today on the show, lots of stuff, right? But it's part of it is about the miracles, creating miracles in your life, being present to who you are, being connecting to the divine, etc. And Beth is going to be doing a powerful process and activation. And as well, she's going to be taking live caller questions. So for those of you who are here live with us on the Zoom, there are two questions that you can ask her. You can ask her, where am I blocked to flowing in the frequency of miracles? And where do I most need to open to surrender, transform, and transcend the mundane? Okay, so I'm going to say that again. Where am I blocked to flowing in the frequency of miracles? Or where do I most need to open to surrender, transform, and transcend the mundane? If somebody wants to put that in the chat, that would be great. Because I can't. When I type in the chat, I get kicked out. So that's what we're going to be talking about. And for those of you who don't know Beth, she is a former prosecutor and trial attorney, turned energy healer, intuitive spiritual counselor, psychic, and medium, and is a certified intuitive strategist and divine channel who communicates with your higher self, spirit guides, angels, and ancestors for messages, information, and guidance. She combines this guidance with a breakthrough technique that identifies and clears blocks, stuck points, and patterns quickly, so you can open to a life lived on purpose, in abundance, and with ease and grace. So please join me in welcoming Beth back to our show. I'm so glad you're here.
I am as well. Thank you for having me back. It's lovely to be here with everyone. Thank you all for being here as well.
And I forgot to say this, but if you would like to ask Beth one of those two questions, raise your hand, as some of you have already done. Or you can type your question in the chat. Is that right, Beth? You can answer people's questions if they're in the chat?
Correct.
Awesome. So you can type your question in the chat or you can raise your hand, okay? All right, so, so Beth, we are talking about manifesting miracles, creating life in the light of you. I did a really quick, about half an hour ago, 40 minutes ago, a quick reel on Instagram and on TikTok. And I'm on one of the two, I forget which one. I think it was on Instagram. I messed it up. I messed up what we were saying. So it's like manifesting miracles, creating light in you. And I was like, no, that's not it. Creating, and then as I had to say it again. It's like, it's all good. But it's about manifesting miracles and being in that high frequency of manifesting miracles, being connected to the divine. And knowing from what I think, knowing that the divine is within you, working with you and through you, and the more that you can raise your frequency and vibration and be connected to spirit, source, God, universe, etc., the more the miracles are manifested automatically in your life. Am I right?
Yes, and there is always an opportunity to up-level our connection, because you said something along the lines of connected to the light. Mm-hmm. We are the light. We are one with source. Now, for many people, that's not a concept that is available to them. So, and that's okay, because it wasn't always available to me either. But the more that you can open to the universal law, the spiritual truth that we are all one, as one with all that is, with Mother, Father, God, Source, with the universe, with everything, the more, let me be an attorney for a moment, strike that, the greater the connection that you can create and tap into in the flow of miracles.
Absolutely.
I had a really powerful example of that progression and the difference in the level of what you can manifest in the miracles that you can experience and attract when last weekend, wow, I can't believe that was 4 days ago. It feels like a life ago. I was watching the movie E.T., which is having its 40th anniversary. And my older daughter and grandsons and a friend of theirs all went to see it in the park. And I sat there pondering 40 years ago. So I was 24. I was still in law school. I saw this movie and I loved it. And I knew that it had a lot of deep meaning, but it was mostly just a super cool movie. 40 years later, being the woo-woo person that I am, I watched it and experienced it like, oh, the entire time. And something that really, well, first of all, Dee Wallace, who plays the mother in the movie, is also now an energy healer. Yes. 40 years ago, she was a full-time actor, and she too has evolved into this. Yeah. And one of the lines that really struck me, well, let's just be real. Back then, I was dating this guy named Greg, who was my contact in law school to the party, to good sex, to the psychedelic drugs I needed to do when I had time to do them. And he and I were seeing it with a group of people, and they come to this place where the main character, Elliot, who saves E.T., along with the assistance of all these other kids, he says, "This is reality, Greg." And I bust out laughing. So that took my attention, because it was like, yeah, dude, you need to get with reality. This is not going to last, which is actually what I needed to tell myself, because I was the one holding on. So that's sort of where my head was back then, right? This time, what took my attention was school is not for higher intelligence. I never heard that line before. It didn't register. And what it means is you can't teach what you already know. And when you connect to that higher wisdom intelligence, you don't need any more knowledge, lessons, information, because all that you are here to be, do, have, and create, all that you can manifest, and all the miracles that are yours to bring forth, or that are longing to come through you, are available through your higher intelligence. So I offer that to everyone here. Yes, you can manifest miracles by standing in the light of the truth of you and who you came to this life to be.
I love that. I love that. So I just want to ask everybody really quickly who's watching now, and if you're watching the replay, just let us know in the comments, etc. Who of you has watched E.T.? Or should I ask instead, who has not? Right? So I know I've watched it many times, but with my kids. I didn't watch it when I was younger because, I was a very deprived child. I'm going to say I was 15. 40 years ago, I was 15. Right. And so I did not watch stuff. I think my first movie I went to in the movie theater, I was 18 or 19 or 20 even, so I wasn't allowed to do stuff like that. So I did not watch it when I was young, but I watched it with my kids because, I have two wonderful kids. And so we watched it together. And one of the things I liked about it is like, it's got people in it. Because after a certain age, I told my kids, I'm never watching any more cartoon movies again.
I invite you to revisit that and start watching them without kids. There's all of them.
If there's people in it, I will watch it with you. But if there's cartoon people, I'm not watching any more cartoons because I've had it. Because I used to watch all that stuff with them, right? But some of these classics, like E.T., there's so many messages that because when we were young, then when it first came out, we didn't have the experience, knowledge, and wisdom that we have now, right? So now when we go back and watch movies like that, it's like, oh my God, look at that. Look what they were saying. Oh my God, it's so true. But we couldn't have heard that back then, right? We were not that conscious or self-aware or, wise, right? So it is great to watch some of those classics over again now that we are smarter, wiser, etc. Right? And get those hidden messages that were there. Okay. So yes, I love that. And I'm glad you're all saying that, yes, you have watched it because it is a classic. And if you haven't, please do. I'm sure it's available on YouTube. I'm sure it's available everywhere. Just go ahead and watch it. And then look for that line, pay attention to that line, and how does that make you feel? And just how does the whole movie make you feel? Especially, oh yeah, it just, yeah, it's a good movie.
And the other thing too, and this is why I challenge you to watch other animated movies. I'll send you a list. I'll begin to think of what really has those deep messages. Okay. And I think it often comes through the people making these animated movies because they're in a freer zone of creativity, because the point of it is an imaginative experience as opposed to live action, which is more, has a wider range, right, of what it is you're trying to convey. The truth is, these kinds of movies are miracles in themselves, because the people who are making them are, whether they're aware of it or not, some of them are, some of them not, they're bringing through higher wisdom, intelligence, and delivering these messages in a form that can have a broad reach to touch a lot of people. And that is really powerful. Now, that's not necessarily true of every movie or every book or every anything. Mm-hmm. You have to discern. But if, just sticking with the movie we're talking about, if when you watch E.T., now after this conversation, pay attention to where you can sense with your own clairs, whether it's clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience, clairgnostic, clairgustatory, whatever your clairs are, if you can sense who was bringing forth what in making the movie. And I'm not talking about the actors, I'm talking about the creators. So watching things with a higher eye, if you will, reveals huge openings and can really be empowering. I mean, I have not stopped thinking of the experience ever since I had it, because it was that powerful. I was buzzing, my crown was tingling. I looked up and it was like I could see the starlight coming down on me. I mean, there was all this stuff that was happening because I was open to the miracle of the full experience of this experience. It wasn't about watching E.T. It was about receiving the miraculous light and love and inspiration and messages that it brought through, including a moment when, and I would love, just email me, anybody. When does Elliot realize he has the power to fly?
Okay.
Send me an email, reach out on Facebook, and let me know what you realize, what you see as to when he realizes his own innate inner higher power. So, does the person sitting next to me see all this? Probably not. You know, they see an entertaining movie about kids and grown-ups, and that's another thing. Who is the higher wisdom intelligence in this movie besides E.T.? It's the kids, not the grown-ups. It's the kids, because they haven't completely forgotten the light of them.
Yeah, I love that. And you know, and I want you to ask yourself too, right now or after the show, are you willing to receive the miracle of the experience that you are having right now? Are you willing to receive that?
And are you willing to dedicate yourself not only to calling in and to attracting the miracle and the experience that you want? Are you willing to hold the space for the miracle once it happens? Because not everything's energy. It's all fluid. It's all moving. And we have to hold the space for whatever it is we want to experience. It's not like you turn it on and then it just lasts. The same way you can turn a light on, right? And you say, well, I turn the light on and it stays on till I turn it off, unless the light bulb burns out. Then you're just having the power coming out and there's no connection being made. That's the difference between holding and not holding the space for a miracle. You have to hold the space once it comes in. That's why a lot of people win the lottery and then lose all the money or spend all, well, they'll lose, they waste, spend, end up exactly where they were before because they're willing to receive, but they're not dedicated to holding the space for the miracle.
Ooh, interesting. That is an interesting question. Are you willing to hold the space for the miracle to last and just to be?
That's right.
Question. Yeah, I love that. Thank you. Good. So that's the type of questions you want to ask yourself. And if you're not, so what if somebody says, oh, I'm getting that I'm not really willing to hold the space? What does that mean? Or I can't.
You're not choosing higher. I mean, really, when you say I can't, okay, here's a perfect example. So I had foot injury in December. Asked my podiatrist to get me physical therapy. The goofball says, no, it's not going to help. So I set about paying for various people I trust, body worker, teachers. Yeah, when I say body worker, I'm not talking massage. I'm talking about exercise. Yeah. People who I trust to know the body and the anatomy to help me. Then I go to him 6 months later and he says, how's your foot? And I said, it's much better, but it's still bothering me. You want some physical therapy? And I said, okay. So I go. And I'm only doing 1/3 of what they tell me to do on my own. I'm going weekly. I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity. A lot of the stuff that they tell me to do, I'm already doing in yoga. There are some things I don't do otherwise. And like I said, I'm doing about 1/3 of it. Am I really holding the space for receiving the full magnitude of what this physical therapy offers me? No. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not going to get benefit and I'm not going to heal, but you cannot do less than what it takes and say that you did it, you tried, you were willing, nothing worked. And on the other hand, if you say you can't do it, that's good to know because you can just stop right there. If you aren't willing, it's not going to work. And anybody can do it if you choose to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. Are you making that choice or are you not? Are you letting excuses come in the way of you making that choice?
That's right. Or even there's a choice underneath the choice, right? So you have this conscious choice in your mind. I want to receive and I want to hold the space for miracles. I am willing. But underneath here, there's a lot of stuff that's obstructing it, that's blocking it, whether it's ancestral patterning, limiting ideas, just any kind of blockage, any kind of personic energy, a persona being an aspect of you that fractures off from the whole of you during a point of pain or a traumatic event. And until you clear it and reintegrate that energy, it's going to keep running the same program, even though the circumstances are no longer present. So you're going to say yes to things that you know you should say no to, and you don't know why you're saying yes, or no to things, or even running from things that are to your benefit. And you also don't know why you're doing that. That's when you know something else is running you. And those under the surface choices, if you will, are going to oppose the higher choice that you think you're making, but you're not fully aligned in moving forward with that higher choice. Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah. Yeah. And so people are asking in the chat, can we clear some of that? Is that going to be something you're going to clear in the activation you're going to do?
Clear some of
that energy that's underneath the choice that you want to make?
Somewhat, but that's actually that's personal work, right? There isn't any, you and I both have blocks and obstacles and stuck points and crud within us. It's not going to necessarily be in the same place or manifest in the same way. You may need some timeline clearing. That's obviously difficult to do. It can be done. I've done it in workshops. It's not really available in a format like this. You need more time to do a group timeline clearing. You also need to do that kind of group experience. I could do this in some of my advanced level master classes because those people have been together for quite some time. They've been taught, they've learned principles, they're at a certain level of understanding of the terms and the ways things work and operate, how energy works. So we probably could do an individual but group timeline clearing with that sort of group. But in reality, I'd be doing you a disservice, you being each individual person asking that, if I said we can clear individually what is blocking you versus, in the group context. It's just not effective. What we will be doing though, will be opening your back heart chakra to higher wisdom intelligence, your higher wisdom intelligence, and that will help clear some of that. It's just not as direct.
Awesome. Good. Thank you. Good. I love it. All right. So I know we have lots of questions, lots of, people with hands raised, questions in the chat. Do you want us to just take some as we're continuing the conversation?
Sure.
All right. So Caroline, you want to go first?
Hello, my beautifuls.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm in the middle of painting and everything else. Hi, Beth. I'm going to go with the question of mundane. So between the two questions, I'm going to go with, let's ask that one.
What is it? I don't remember.
Where do I most need to open to surrender, transform, and transcend the mundane?
I need you to say it, Carolyn.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And it doesn't have to be those exact words, your interpretation of those words.
Where do I need to transform the most to transform the mundane?
Okay, so I want you to keep your eyes closed or reclose your eyes and tune in to the connection between the center of your heart and your third eye. Do you have a sense of the energy flowing between your third eye and your heart?
Yes.
So feel into it. It's like it's a rubber band that has been stretched super tight and then had a massive amount of Gorilla Glue applied to it so that it is stretched to its capacity and stuck in that stretched out place. Yes, exactly. I feel that throat action there right at the top of your heart. We want to release that so that the receptivity of your higher heart, your heart brain, and the third eye with that connection to divine intelligence, that is more available. So I want you to imagine releasing that taut band between the heart and the third eye and seeing it collapse into itself. It draws down right around just below your chin into a tiny point, a ball like the head of a pin. I want you now, as it compresses and compresses and compresses, to see all the dark negative density being squeezed out and compressed so that the diamond that is within you is amplified. See that a beautiful starburst is created out of that ball of density that we've converted into light, and let that beautiful star that is the truth and light of you emanate out in all directions, filling all of you, all of your bodies, mental, physical, emotional, and energetic. There you go. Take a nice deep breath in. And on the exhale, just relaxing in this opening. Now feel back in to that space between your third eye and your heart. How does it feel now to you?
It's got a heartbeat right here.
Beautiful. So now open your eyes and just observe what's happening around you, what's come in, what's left. You're just taking stock so that your physical body can integrate the energetic shifts that we've called in. It takes a little bit more time because the matter of the The energetic matter of the body is denser. So just open your eyes and look around the room. You're just noticing what's happening. Doesn't matter what you see or if anything seems different. You're just noticing to allow your body to have a chance to integrate at deeper levels. How are you feeling?
Really grounded and strong. Mm-hmm.
So I would encourage you, oh, beautiful little reverse rainbow just went through right across your throat. Beautiful. Take time over the next couple of days, just gently touching. Affirm and touch. I'm here. We're open. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Good. Thank you, Caroline.
Yeah.
And I should have said this before, but unlike the timeline clearing that is difficult to do as a group, if anyone who is called on is going to be a surrogate for the whole. So whatever work we're doing with one, if it resonates for you, then apply it. So perhaps when I say to her, feel into this here, you feel some activation in your sacral chakra. Then you do the same process, but focus down there. And if you don't feel any resonance with the individual work, then simply hold space for the person to receive the miracle that is coming through in that moment for them.
Awesome. Good. Thank you. Cindy, you want to unmute yourself? You are unmuted somewhere. Are you on here twice? We can't hear you. I know you're here. But she wants to know, I know she wrote in the chat, but you need to hear her. I'm on, but you can't hear me for some reason. Yeah, you are unmuted, but I can't hear you. So she wants to know she wrote it down. Crap. 1 second, I'm gonna find it. Where do I most need to open to surrender, transform, and transcend the mundane? In her.
Okay, so I saw what you typed, Cindy. So yes, just affirm that aloud. And I want you to feel into the upper back area, to the scapulas, to your wing bones. There's restriction there. It's as if you have resisted your angel wings opening and expanding. The energy around this is it's not safe to shine. It's not safe to be seen. I have to stay small in order to make it through. And it's very ancient, a very ancient blockage. And so right now, I mean, just raise your shoulders a bit, move them forward as if you were trying to shake loose those wings. And of course, we're talking, symbolic, metaphorical wings. We are not in a movie where we can close our eyes and all of a sudden we fly. That's a much more advanced level than what we're doing here today. But in any case, you want to let yourself open the back area. The activation we're going to do will be very beneficial for you because there's a very guarded energy, almost a heart wall at the back that is making it difficult for you to feel comfortable in connection with yourself, with the good that is yours to receive, with people who will assist and uplift and take this journey with you. I mean, it's just a very mistrustful, fearful energy. And I would suggest that you play with that energetic sensation of moving your wings in the back and letting them clear out any density, any misguided protective energy that it's like as if at some point in your life you were attacked from not this life necessarily, in the whole of your existence and all of your incarnations here in this earthly realm. And you have developed a sort of shield on the back so that it doesn't happen again. And it's time to let that go. So play with that energy and see what you can get up to by tuning into your back heart chakra. And especially before we do the activation, just take an assessment of how open your back heart feels on a scale of 1 to 10, and then do it again after the activation. And I would encourage you, and for everyone this is true, but for you especially, do that activation a few more times over the next week, and then keep continuing to notice that sort of what is the shift. Maybe small at first, maybe big, maybe, just notice whatever it is so that you can become more familiar with the ideal way that you want that back heart channel to be.
Awesome. So hopefully you got all that. Yes, thank you. I felt chills all over when I was exercising my shoulders. Awesome.
Great. That's awesome. Beautiful.
Good. Yeah, awesome. All right. And anybody else, like I was moving my back around, right? So you can all do the same thing as well. Do the process if you resonate with it, okay?
And that's very true, Alara, because even if it's not your issue, following along, doing the work, doing the moving, calling in an opening, it's only going to enhance. It's not strictly for that problem. We all have to remember, especially the back channels of our energetic systems, because we forget about it. Out of sight, out of mind. It's back there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Linda, you want to unmute yourself? I know you have to go.
Yes, sorry about that. Hi, Beth.
Hi, Linda.
Hi. I would like to know what is blocking the flowing of miracles to my life, please.
Okay, so tune into your right hip. It's very interesting. Today we're getting a lot of body stuff. Just close your eyes and feel into your right hip. Do you feel any sensation of thickening or density or okay. So this is a sensation that is representing a fear that it's not safe to move forward into the fullness of what you came here to do. It is making it difficult for you to open to fully being receptive to miracles, and certainly making it difficult for you to take whatever divinely guided action steps are necessary to move forward. So I want you to imagine that you can pull that blockage. It's like a black ball is the way I see it. And it's being just pulled right on out and dropped down into the center of the earth, right into the heart of Mother Earth. She'll transmute your generous donation for her own healing. And now I want you to visualize white light and gold with gold streams in it, some silver and some purple as well, being layered into that hip. And imagine that you can stride forward into the truth and light of you with that right leg as if you were a giant. It's like you can take a giant step into the miracle frequency now. Take a deep breath in and just affirm, I am free to receive all that is mine to experience. I am open and flowing in the frequency of miracles.
The frequency of miracles.
And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Beth.
You're very
Thank you. Thank you, Alara.
Awesome. Thank you, Linda.
It's always a blessing to be with you, both of you.
Thank you. You're so sweet.
Thank you.
You as well. Thank you.
Glad you're here. I know she has to go, but glad you were here for all that you could be here for and watch the replay. All right. 1 second. So there was a question from Jennifer Grace in the chat. Where am I blocked to flowing in the frequency of miracles?
Now, keeping this, I just love this shows the concept I was talking about earlier when I said why we couldn't do a generalized for clearing on the stuff that blocks the higher choice that we think we're making.
Mhm.
There's an M field. Whenever two or more are gathered, there's a morphogenetic field created that we are all connected to. And the more that we engage in that M field, the bigger the power, the stronger the potency. This is why it's very important that we be mindful of who and what we're connecting to. So Jennifer, in keeping with this pathway, because if you listen, watch other shows I've been on with Alara, the answers to these questions are not always about stuff in the body and, you know, energy clearing. But this time our M field is and the aspects and everything are calling that forward. And this is what is so crazy about it. I've never had a block in somebody's toe. I want you to feel into your right big toe. The way I see it with my clairvoyant abilities, the way they express, it's like a big cartoon probably brought forth by Alara saying she's not watching any more animated movies, but because I used to see everything in animation when I first started. So they're bringing me back to the beginning. And it's like what you would imagine, you know, if this is the way your toe is supposed to be, if this was the cartoon happening, you know, your toe's just been smashed and now it looks like this and it's pulsing and it's big and it's gray. And I want you to just imagine that the hands of your higher self are cradling this right big toe. It has been stubbed, if you will, too many times when you were stepping forward into purpose-driven work, into the path that is yours to take. And it's holding you back, creating a sensation for every time you move forward, there's this pull back. So I wouldn't be surprised if you have some issues on the right side of your body. Could also be in the left hip because sometimes things cross over. But what you want to do is imagine the hands of your higher self just gently cradling this toe, sending the healing energy from the palms of your higher self into the toe. There it goes. It's really ready to go. It's going down to its normal size. All that high alert, fearful energy is being vaporized out. We're calling in blue and pink to reset. Feel that blue of the divine masculine who is following his orders of the pink of the divine feminine, cascading through the toe, up your leg, and all the way to your heart, reconnecting this right side of your body, that is the side of you stepping forward, free of responsibility that is not yours, into what more is possible for you. Reconnecting that point of the right side with the heart, with that higher wisdom intelligence. Take a deep breath in and just let all that settle. Affirm aloud, if you can, or if not, just to yourself, I am free and confident in my freedom.
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 Put a smile on your face last time. I am free and confident in my freedom.
I am free and confident in my freedom.
Beautiful. How are you feeling?
I feel like things are vaporizing in my body from that toe, and I have had issues from the toe, the foot, the knee, and the hip on the right side for a long time. It's like, yeah.
If it's available to you, depending on your physical condition, if you can do that kind of cradling of the toe, of the foot, of the ankle, of the knee, and make little figure eight motions where the palm of your hand, which has the same power as that of your higher self and all angelic beings, make those little healing sacred eights over whatever part on the right side feels wonky. That would really be beneficial.
Oh, yeah, I've done that in the past, but I haven't kept up the practice. But thanks for reminding me. It's awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Thank you so
Blessings.
much.
Blessings to you, my dear. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. All right. I was gonna, gosh, where am I? 1 second. This chat is crazy. Gabriella, where do I most need to open to surrender, transform, and transcend the mundane?
So your heart. And it feels like there's eons of heartbreak that you're holding that doesn't have anything to do with you. And it's been affirmed, if you will, by the ways that your heart has been hurt through betrayal. Torture is the word that's coming up in this life. Let down, all of the things that happen. And so you really need to think of every breath that you're bringing in, white light, breathing it into the heart. And on the exhale, you're releasing those attachments to heartbreak, because 80% of what you're carrying is not yours. It's stuff that you've picked up and agreed to, because as light workers, rainbow warriors, way showers, energy healers, however you identify, we have sometimes the innate misguided belief that if we take on someone else's pain, then we will be healing them. Well, maybe so, but you're hurting yourself. And since for all to be healed, for the whole earth to be transformed into light, into love, we all have to rise together. So that's not the way to do it. Taking on someone else's pain is just like, it's like a shell game. You're just moving it around. So with every breath, going forward for the next 10 days, and I know it's not possible to have this focus with every breath, but set the intention in the morning, reaffirm it throughout, take a few breaths, pauses throughout the day where you're drawing in light and love to your heart and exhaling out into the ground all that is pain and fracture and trauma that you have held in your heart. It's time to let that go and create the space in your heart for you to receive the miracles and to be able to hold the miracles, because in that way, then you're going to be able to spread that out to assist people with healing without damaging yourself by taking on their pain. So I don't know if this is something that you've noticed in your own life, but if you know, just any feedback that you have about what I'm picking up, please put it in the chat and reach out and let me know at the end of 10 days how it feels.
Thank you very much. It really resonates with me. I'm working as a counselor and psychotherapist, and I do feel, and I do think that I do take on other people's stuff, and maybe I'm not really as good as letting go.
And you know what? It's what makes you a great therapist and a great soul. And I know the feeling. It's something I had to learn. So when you're working, I want you to imagine there's a big tub to your right side, and it has a special top that only allows in what you direct, and then it's fully contained. And every time you are aware of someone releasing pain, I want you to see it funneled into that tub. And at the end of the session, call in whoever you deal with, your higher self. Michael is a volunteer, Divine Mother. There's all sorts of angelic beings. Thor, all the whole beefy firefighter angelic team is here. They're all like, I can do it, because they'll have to pick that up, compress it down, drop it into the earth. And that way you're helping relieve the person of their suffering, putting it in this divine receptacle, and then you being further of assistance to help Mother heal herself by donating this dense energy, which is very powerful, into the earth and letting her use that for her own healing. Nowhere in there are you impacted.
Mm-hmm. lovely. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Blessings.
Blessings. And thank you for your good work.
Thank you.
Good, good, good. All right. That was great. And I love that process for sending that energy into that container and back to and to Mother Earth. I love that.
You know, that came through. I'm going to start doing that because I do other things, but I'm like, wow, that's really easy.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Ah,
We can all do it.
yes.
All right, Manisha, you want to unmute yourself?
Yes. Hello, Alara. Hi,
Hi.
Beth.
Hi, Manisha.
Yeah, I have the same question. Where am I most blocked to receiving, to be in the flow of receiving miracles, please?
So do you have, are you aware of any difficulty in staying grounded?
No, but I think you mentioned that last time as well. So I wonder.
That's interesting because when I saw your face,
Yes.
not your face necessarily, but I felt like,
The
okay,
energy.
I've worked with this person, or you seemed familiar is the point. So what I'm seeing is that at the base of your spine, so in your root chakra, where you would just imagine you would want it to be kind of fluid and flowing, that grounding red energy sort of emanating out to provide a nice center for you to move through to ground down into the earth. Instead of it having that fluidity, it's like it's posted. So if you could think of, steak, right? Like it's staked down. The way I see it is like if you had a stick that has a big base and like a walking stick that has a really broad base, so that when you go like that, it locks down and then it helps you move forward. So for you, that's what's happening in your root chakra. And the problem is it's like creating this level just underneath your spine, under your sits bone, and it's not letting you fully ground into the earth, which you want to pull that out and open that channel so that you can ground into the earth. Because it's almost the way it's operating energetically is, okay, so you call in a miracle and the frequency is right there. It's coming towards you, you're going towards it. And then all of a sudden that pole is the stake part is impacted by some vibration in the earth. And right when you're going to connect with the miracle frequency, you go like this and it goes right by you. And then you stand up and you say, I saw that. I felt that. It was here. What happened? So you want to, and for you, it is a conscious choice to let that go, because obviously, I'm getting so hot from this too. It's very old and it's like, I am safer if I'm like this. I mean, think of a shepherd with a staff and how they stand there in it. And that's stability, right? Only it's false stability. The real stability is in the freedom to let that go and know I'm going to be protected if I consciously ground into the earth. I don't need this fake, it's not fake, but this limiting concept of being grounded. Does this resonate with you?
I'm sure it does, because like you said, I feel like miracles are just passing me by. So there's a lot of sense in what you're saying, that I'm I feel disjointed.
Yes.
From the earth energy, or being grounded.
So I suggest the next opportunity you have to get outside around some trees, I want you to just stand near, touch the trunk if you can, but stand near a tree and actually see that stake thing.
Okay.
There, like say, okay, you stay here into the ground where it's holding on, right? Just there at the surface, and then step to the left, and then step again till you're on the other side of the tree, and put both your hands or your back you want some physical contact with the tree, and use your breath and connect. We'll do the connection when we do the activation. So that process or any other, and I want you to feel in that connection with the tree, that your energy is grounding down into the center of the earth the same way the tree is grounding down with its roots. And just notice when you leave that false idea of grounding on the one side of the tree and freely move to the other to ground at a deeper level, then notice how that instability feels.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. I'll do that because I often go to the park and they're very big trees. I literally just touch them.
Yes.
But I'll do the process that you're suggesting. Thank you very much, Beth. Thank you, Alara.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Great process. I think many more of us also need that as well. So thank you.
Absolutely. And it's something that, whether, again, it's one of those things, it may not be your issue, but you're going to be benefited by doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wonderful. All right. So I was trying to do both the chat and people who are live, but I don't even know. Lourdes, which question are you asking?
I'm asking, where am I blocked to flow in the frequency of miracles, please?
Awesome.
Hi, Lara.
Hi.
Nice meeting Beth. I never met her before. Thank you for having
You
me.
as well. Very nice to meet you. So
Thank you.
I'm sensing there's some cording at on the left side that's running from, about the upper top part of the heart down to the sacral. Do you have any issues or sensitivities on your left side, or even a little pain, intermittent, stiffness?
Actually, I found more on my right side.
Okay, now see, that makes sense. And we talked about this with the last caller, because just if you think of the physical anatomy, sometimes where we feel the pain is not the problem. The problem is on the other side because it refers out. So in this situation, the cords are coming in here, and then the pull that they're creating is felt here. So we don't have enough time to cut them here today. If you buy the package, we can work on that there. In the meantime, if you just visualize when you meditate that and call in Archangel Michael to assist in cutting the cords and sending them back to wherever they came with love and the direction not to be reapplied because they will not be accepted, and then shield that area and give it a lot of love and tenderness, so that, because there'll be, it's like when you remove a sliver, you have to take care of what's left so that it doesn't get inflamed in response to, oh my goodness, what happened here? Does that make sense?
Yes. Is this cause like negative energy or something? What?
I try to.
I don't know.
I mean, yes, the thing is, any attachment that no longer serves would be dark, dense, negative, even if in the beginning it was favorable. So rather than think in terms of what this earthly realm supports us in thinking, because the entirety of this realm is about shadow, duality, opposition, us versus them, dark versus light, love against fear. That's what the energetic set point of, that's what we're shifting right now. That's the breakdown that we're experiencing. That's why everything is so crazy out there, because we're in this gap period where the dark and the light are crashing together and bumping up against. The pendulum is no longer swinging from one to the other, but it's sort of stuck here while all that's figuring its way out. If you can visualize this as that wherever it came from and whatever it was originally about, it no longer serves now. It's not that it's bad, that's the thing, and why I try to recast these concepts, because even today, a colleague and I were talking, and she talked about dark entities. She was talking to someone else. It was a Zoom. And I could feel myself kind of bristle because people receive that as demonic or reptilian or all this stuff that our brains are like, ah! No, it doesn't serve. And then she shifted and said, dark energy, negative energy, dense energy. Now you're talking, because we don't want the egoic left brain, mental mind to get all worked up and start running a program, a new program of fear. I have attachments. I have dark energy. No, it's just stuff that you attracted at some point that no longer serves. I mean, if even children, right? Everybody who has a child, there's an automatic cord that's created. I mean, think of it, the umbilical cord is the original source of sustenance for that life. But as that child grows, maybe you don't need that cord in that kind of strength. Maybe it's draining you. Maybe that's what this is.
Oh,
Let it go.
okay. Very interesting. Thank you very much. Thank you for explaining. Thank you.
Awesome. Good. Thank you, Lourdes.
Thank
Good.
you, Alara. Thank
Like
you.
go on, like that was good. I like that.
Thank you very
Awesome.
much.
You're so welcome. All right. So Beth, I want to take a few minutes and talk about the packages. All right.
Okay.
And then we'll see where we're at. Because we still have lots of questions, lots of people with their hand raised, etc. I'm going to share my screen in a second. I'm going to try and type the link in the chat and pray and hope that I don't get kicked out. It's like, oops.
We'll wait for you to come back if you get kicked out. We'll hold space for you.
Thank you. Yes. We're just going to, fingers crossed that I don't get kicked out. Yes, I'm here. Good.
It worked.
It worked. Yay. All right.
Miracle.
So, and that's how it is, right? When you say, I need to be here, it works. And other times when you don't say it, you get kicked out. It's like, okay.
That's right.
Let me share my screen. So again, Alara, Beth's packages are available at alara.at/show/Beth9. It helps if I say what the link is for the people who are listening, watching, and maybe can't see the chat. So we're going to share the screen of the package. So package A and package B. So package A, there's so much stuff in package A, and then package B is everything in package A plus a 30-minute personal session, right? 30 minutes, is that right? Yeah.
And just to be honest, they don't always, but they generally go longer. So when you schedule your session, make sure you have extra time. So if we are called to go longer, you can.
Right. Yes. All right. So what is in package A? Like I said, there's a lot of stuff, so I'm going to let you go over it.
So I think the best way to describe what the package is that it is a personal empowerment package. So the MP3s, for example, that you will get include a series of Fibonacci sacred geometric activations that will assist you in, if your intention is to open to receiving more miracles, using these activations, setting an intention before you use them, will assist you in tapping into that exponentially expansive energy of the Fibonacci spiral in order to bring more of it, with ease and grace. So too, with the monthly energy healing calls, there's a lot of clearing work and a lot of higher light that comes in. So working with all the materials is the idea is to give you the tools that you need to work on your own. I'm not doing my job if you always forever have to come to me for everything. My job is to teach you how to do what you need to do on your own, as much as, I have colleagues I trade sessions with, we all need help sometimes, but you need to be empowered, because I don't want to have the responsibility of helping everyone all the time. I want you to learn from me and go on and help yourself. So and there's other, some bonuses in terms of how you can keep your energy flowing and what you need to do that are part of it as well. And then the 2-part workshop, it's a brand new workshop on the 4 keys to manifesting miracles and abundance. The first workshop will be teaching, and the second is live. It is a quantum energy lab that will be more expanded, but like what we do when we do the Q&A. So you have that opportunity to work with me one-on-one in the group context. And then if you buy package B, you get all of that plus the private session with me where we can tune into what you need to do in order to have your entire field and all of your bodies aligned in the way that it needs to be in order for you to open to abundance and to receiving miracles. So it's a really, if I do say so myself, it's a really expansive, lovely package, that a package of empowerment into manifesting miracles. So take advantage of it, because I don't know when this is going to be offered again. I'm not doing any more shows for the rest of this year and may not do too many more in the beginning of next. I have to follow the guidance. So this is not a sales tactic. It's just the truth. It's not coming up again. This is it for a while.
So, and of course, for both packages, 2 and 3-part payment plans are available. And you can also take advantage of my special 10% gift. Use code TACS10. Okay, so definitely, if you can get package B, because I love personal sessions. I'll be honest, right? It's like, yes, I can do a lot of the work with the recordings, etc., but then getting the one-on-one help is where, you know, it really helps me as a person who also does a lot of work getting sessions, etc., from other healers and coaches, etc. So I do love the one-on-ones. If you can, get package B. If not, get package A and do the work on your own, right? You have all the recordings and everything available to you, so then do it on your own. Just be diligent and consistent about it, right? But it's all there. Again, alara.at/show/Beth9. Awesome. Thank you. So don't forget 2 and 3-part payment plans, as well as the gift code TACS10. All right, Beth. Whew. So what would you like to do next? Do you want to do the activation, or do you want to take some more questions?
Let's do the activation.
So do you want everybody to turn off their videos?
Yes, because when you do this work, it's best to be interned. And so we like to turn all the videos off, so there's nothing to see. So your eyes can be calmly resting in an interview, not an externally turn.
I'm also going to turn my video off, because I know last time, I think Beth got kicked off, and
I was just going to mention that. And
it's not happening today.
It's not. It does. One reason why I don't do more video work is that my energy is big. That is neither here nor there. It's just big. And it doesn't mean it's more powerful, or it's just big. And sometimes I have a lot of issues with electronics, and sometimes the bandwidth that is required physically for video is interfered with by my energy. If I get kicked off, just as Alara guided the last time, I will endeavor to get back on, but since my eyes will be closed, I may not realize, which is what happened last time. And by the time I did realize and try to get back on, everything was over. But what Alara said is true. Beth is still doing the work. The work is working. Let the work do the work, no matter what happens. So I am affirming, and all of you with me, that there will be no tech disruptions. Mm-hmm. No matter what happens, the work will be working. So I think we're all ready.
Yes, we are ready.
So if everyone will close their eyes and open to the activation to align your heart chakra with the ancient wisdom pyramid. Take a nice, deep, easy breath in. Bring your attention to your third eye. And then drop it down into your heart, imagining that you are standing nestled within the bounds of your heart space. From the center of your heart, extend a diamond white light up through your throat, your third eye, and out your crown, extending it to the furthest reaches of the galaxy, where you will see, sense, feel, or just imagine there's a divine star point with your name on it. Lasso your star point and wrap your white light around a few times so that you're securely connected to the heavenly divinity that is the truth and light of you. And now run that energy from your star down your white light, bring it all back down to your crown and let it float back to your heart space. Turn your attention to that center point at the heart, and you're going to ground into the earth. And I want you to imagine a stout gold grounding cord about a hand's print wider than your physical body. Just extend it out in all directions from your heart, and then drop it down into the earth, into the very center of Mother's heart, where there is a golden grace-like ball of heat and fire and light. Lock your gold grounding cord in and feel the beautiful, luscious, great light flowing up from Mother's heart into your grounding cord, all the way back up to your heart space, where that golden grace light meets the white light from above. Turn your attention to that convergence point and expand this sacred light out in all directions, letting it mix and merge and swirl and twirl in all directions. Now turn your attention deeper in the center of your heart. There's a set point, like a power button there. I want you to activate that set point. It releases the new consciousness grid out from the whole of you. Infuse those grid lines with gold and purple and silver. And for some, any other colors and frequencies that are coming to you, let those infuse into those grid lines. Take a nice deep breath in. As you feel into that connection, as above, so below, as within, so without. I am that I am, as one with all that is. And now with your inner eye, notice that at the back of your heart center stands Divine Mother and Archangel Michael, my dear friend. And they are holding, each one of them, a pyramid. Mother steps forward and places that pyramid into the back of your heart. Michael steps forward and he places his upside down so that the base of these two pyramids connect and create a diamond. The top, representing the divine feminine aspect of you, begins to rotate to the right, so clockwise, and the bottom, representing the divine masculine, who is the servant to the higher wisdom of the divine feminine angel. That pyramid, that base of the diamond, begins to rotate in a counterclockwise, so to the left. Take a nice deep breath in as you feel the vortex energy of clearing, releasing, healing, breaking open, letting loose from all that does not serve. Notice now that these two pyramids connected in the sacred shape of a diamond are now emanating left and right, right and left, up and down along the back channel of your heart space, almost like a Roomba robot vacuum that is tearing down, vaporizing, releasing, knocking off, clearing out, vacuuming up, however you receive it, any blockages, heart walls, obstructions, thickenings, and even hurricane shutters that have formed at the back of your heart. Take a nice deep breath in as you receive this release. One more breath in, and on the exhale, I want you to lean forward a little bit. Exhale with some sound, releasing any sticky, sludgy components that were connected to, atrophied because of that protective but untoward aspect of the back heart. So breathing in and letting go out. One more time, breathe in and release out. I'll take a nice, deep, easy breath in as you allow yourself to notice that the two pyramids that form the diamond have come to a place of stillness, and out of the center is emanating brilliant light that is filling the whole of the back channel of your heart with higher, divinely inspired light that allows you to choose to receive miracles, to receive abundance in all things, to receive an awakening of your intuitive gifts at a deeper level. Feel into the energy that is flowing into your heart brain, connecting you to the higher wisdom intelligence, opening those pathways and channels for you to remember what you know and who you are. Take a deep breath in as you allow this higher vibrational energy to settle within the whole of you. One more breath. Put a smile on your face. Express gratitude to yourself for showing up, to your divine team for supporting you, to Divine Mother and Archangel Michael for being here to assist in this alignment of your heart chakra with the ancient wisdom pyramid of the truth and light of you. Call all your conscious awareness back to now. Call all your energy back to now and place it in the central channel that runs from the crown to the root in front of your spine. Turn your attention to the right side of your head at the inner bounds of your auric field. There's a light switch. Flip it on and notice how brilliant your aura lights up, free of the debris and constrictions from the fear lodged in the back heart channel. Brilliant. Turn your attention to the outer bounds of your auric field and pour a liquid platinum shield, that most impervious of natural substances, and then stud it with diamond mirror tiles so that anyone's energy that comes towards you is reflected back to them. Your energy remains within and theirs without, no intermingling necessary. Take a nice, deep, easy breath in, setting your intention. I am free to be me and confident in my freedom. Then as you're ready, slowly open your eyes as we say, Mother, Father, God, Source of all that is, Divine Mother, Archangel Michael, all of our higher selves and divine wisdom teams who have been present to assist in this activation to realign the heart center with our higher wisdom intelligence. For this we give great thanks, extend much love, and so it is. And now slowly open your eyes and take a look about the space that you're in, noticing what you notice, whatever that is. Noticing what's shifted or changed, come in or left. Maybe the air feels different, the light might look different. Doesn't matter what you notice, just taking that time allows the integration of the work so that we can let the work do the work. Drink a lot of water, stay grounded, be you. So know that it can take a few days for everything to fully integrate. So in that time, go gently, stay hydrated, grounded, and open to flowing in the frequency of love, abundance, and miracles.
That was
Nice release.
lots of yawning. I have to
Yes,
admit.
that's a great release. Tears too. I want everybody to remember tears are cleansing, and they may, I don't know why this is not something I normally say after an activation, but apparently there are some tears available to be shed. Know that it's cleansing and embrace it with gratitude when it comes.
Yeah, beautiful. And I remember, like, right before you said lean forward and breathe, I was already doing that, you know. So my body was already, you know, in that process. It was like, yeah.
And
that
you're
was great.
welcome to everyone, Kim, Manisha, and all who are sending thanks. And I'm glad, Manisha, that lots of tears and yawning are coming through.
Awesome. Good. Yes. So again, keep breathing, keep drinking water, keep just being, like, you know, like Beth was saying, just being. And what were we talking about before? Be the space, hold the space for that miracle, hold the space for this process, hold the space for the clearing, right? Hold the
And you know,
space for the
something
miracle.
else that is coming up behind what you just said, it's really important at the same time as we are working to open to what we need to know. It's very important that we remember what we need to forget and let go of, because these patterns and these limiting ideas are on loops in our brain. And I heard it said, think of your brain as a radio station. And if that DJ is not singing your song, change the station. And that's what I mean when I say, remember what you need to forget. That just because it's a thought that's always been there doesn't mean it's the thought that you're supposed to have.
Yeah.
Sometimes what we need to remember is, I'm not doing that anymore.
Exactly. I love that. You know, that always reminds me, that phrase, you know, it always reminds me of one of my favorite movies, Australia. Maybe it's because I love, you know, what's his name? You know, at the moment my mind is blank, but I just love him. But it's like, just because something's been done forever doesn't mean it's right. Right. So let go, even if it's like an old feeling, even if it's something that you know, if it's not serving you, let it go. Right. And I was just going to tell you too, really quickly, one of the animated movies that I do like, and for some reason it's one of my favorite, is The Prince of Egypt.
Yes.
I love that movie. I don't know why, and I never remember the name, so I sent a message to my daughter, what is the name of that movie that I like so much? But then I Googled it instead, because she's working, so, you know, she can't just respond to me whenever she wants. Prince of Egypt. I love that movie. There's, you know, something about that always makes my heart open up, and I cry so much during that. You know, I'm not very religious, but I'm very spiritual.
Yes.
So there's a lot of
Well, and
messages.
I would say the same thing, because religiosity is a patriarchal man-made thing. Doesn't mean it's good or bad. It just is what it is. Any religion, no matter how pure it may be, is still something created by man, and therefore subject, man meaning human, although most religions on earth were created by actual men. Another reason why you need to discern if it's in your interest to tune into a certain religion, because it has nothing to do necessarily with spirituality.
Yeah. I mean, so, you know, use your discernment, like Beth was saying. I've been watching a lot of Hinduism stuff because I'm, you know, Hindu by birth, right? And there are some great messages, right? So, you know, for me, it's about the message. It's not about the institution.
That's right.
Right? It's about the principles. It's not about the institution. But anyway, that being aside, I do love that movie, and I have watched that many times, and it is a cartoon, animated. So that is one that I do watch. But the thing is, it's like we can, we are letting go of things that no longer serve us, but at the same time, we can be reconnecting to things from the past that have a new meaning and message for us. Like we were talking about ET, right? So a lot of the old stuff that we, didn't grasp everything in it at the time because we were younger, not as wise. Now, when we see it, it's about us being open to the experience, open to the message. And the same thing goes for our past experiences and our stories, right? So it's not about being hooked into the story, but it's about, all right, looking at that story from who you are now, the lens of the person that you are now, not who you were then once it happened, right? So now when I look back at stuff, it's like, oh, I'm so much wiser now. It's like, oh, I see why that happened. I understand why that happened. I'm getting the lessons. I'm getting the wisdom. At that time, I was not ready to do the work for it. I couldn't process it. I couldn't clear it. I couldn't whatever, right? But now I can, right? So it's about looking at those stories in a different way, those experiences in a different way, from the new lens of who you are now, and also from the lens of, everything is a miracle. Everything is a gift. And what is the gift in that miracle, in that experience? Because there's always something. There's always something there that's a blessing and a gift for you if you're willing to see it. I think you mentioned it like in your write-up, you said blessings, right?
Yes.
But there is a blessing in everything if you're willing to see it and receive it. So
That's
are you
right.
willing to receive and, be and hold the space for that miracle?
That's right. I just saw, because the chat, I can't focus on reading it, but it pops up, and Angela just asked, how far out am I booking the one-on-ones? They're starting next week, I think, is, I don't book my schedule more than a couple weeks out, other than the master classes and my monthly energy healing circle that are booked, farther out. I try not to book sessions too far out so that people can, within a few weeks at most, get the work done. So, and if there are no appropriate times available on the link, just email me and we'll find one that is, and I will be adding more times to it because I don't know how much is left on that link. But you definitely can get your session within the next couple of weeks.
Awesome. Good. Thank you, Angela, for asking. I usually ask that question, but I forgot. So thank you, Angela, for asking the question. Yes.
Well, now there's a miracle, right? There's a manifestation of a miracle. Lots of, every time there's right now 37 unread chats showing on the bottom of my screen. I did not, all of those, each one of those popped up with that little box, but I couldn't see it, focus on it, didn't see it, focus on it. But I saw that one and read it and was able to wait a moment to let you finish, and then still clear in my mind to answer. That's the frequency of miracles. If you are aligned, what you need to receive in order to get you where you want to go, to have the experience that you want to have, it all lines up.
It all lines up. So I just want to share from Kim. She wrote in the chat, I have joined Beth in both the QEL and individual sessions. Beth is amazing to work with, and her support in guiding through clearing is deep and profound. I'm forever grateful for her light in my life. Sending my love to all and wish you the best in your guidance. Thank you, Kim.
Thank you, Kim. I love you.
Lourdes says a lot of heat tingling powerfully, a lot of energy feeling present. I'm feeling a lot of heat now after the fact.
That's clearing, right? Because the heat is like, if you think of it, it's sort of like a vaporizer. So as you're clearing stuff out, the heat comes to assist, because I was so hot a moment ago and I'm totally fine now.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have hot flashes, but I do have these hot flashes when it comes to energy work. Lindsay says, thank you, Beth. Felt a huge hot flash to run through me.
Yes, you're right.
Great to let that stagnation go. That's so funny. I must have I was gonna read that next, but I hadn't read it, but I was feeling it. So Lindsay, I'm we're connected. I was feeling the hot flash before I read your chat in the chat there.
That's right. That's awesome.
Oh my God, that is so funny. Yeah, so I am like, whew. So yeah, so be willing to allow the hot flashes because you know it's a clearing, right?
That's right.
And for most of us, hot flashes are a bad thing. But for me, whenever I start to feel heat, a lot, I know sometimes it's clearing, sometimes I'm moving energy, I'm receiving energies because I'm doing a process. That's usually when I have the most heat, is when I'm doing a process, right? So allow, just be willing to allow, be willing to receive, be willing to be the miracle that you are.
Be willing to be the miracle that you are. How perfect. That's it. That's it.
That's it.
That is it.
So
That's
are you,
it.
Are you willing to be the miracle that you are? Oh my God, it's like, whew. Yes, right. So I want you, whoever is willing to be the miracle that you are, I want you to affirm it in the chat. Just say yes. Just write in the chat right now, and we will all be here to affirm that with you and to, just make it so for everyone, right? Say yes, 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 or just yes. I tend to say everything in threes, but
I do too.
yeah, exactly, right. Yes, yes, yes. So just yes, right? Because you are a miracle. And we forget that when we get into the doldrums of our day, we forget that we're a miracle. And we are. So awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Valentina, you might want to get a session with Beth. I was thinking about you as we were doing this call, and I was thinking, Beth should be, Valentina should be here. She should, if you can, get a session with Beth, okay? Just saying.
If you hear
Thank
the
you.
call, do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, I'm, because I felt very strongly that Beth could help you with your thing. Okay, that's why your name came to me during this call. I didn't know you were here, so.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, everyone.
And
Wasn't
I
that
just
awesome?
want to say to Madalena, and this is for everyone, I noticed, and now I did open the chat, so I got it right. You said, yes, 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 please. And that's perfect. And I would suggest that every time you say please, add and thank you. Because when you say please, you're asking for something out there to come to you. When you say please and thank you, you're affirming it is mine, it is here. So it's just a little amplification, a little exponential expansion of that petition out to the universe. And she typed that in, so perfect. Yes,
Awesome.
Please and thank you, please and thank you, please and thank you.
Exactly. Same thing with, I'm grateful for whatever that is. It's already
That's
happened. I'm already receiving it. It's already in my experience, right? Because everything is, okay? Everything is.
Yes, yes, yes.
What a wonderful call. Oh my God, this is so much fun.
It really was. And I was meditating just before to prepare, and about 10 minutes, well, I had set an alarm, and about 10 minutes before the alarm went off, I stopped meditating and got up and started to move around and just get into, because I was so excited. It was like, okay, that's enough connecting. Now I just want to get into it because I love this community. I love you. It's the truest expression of freedom on this platform, where whatever is going to come. I mean, I had no intention. You had no intention to talk about movies and animated and all the rest, but whatever is meant to come, and I'm getting chills all over. When we work together, everything just comes out.
Absolutely, because we're just open to the flow, right? We're open to having anything and everything show up, and whatever does is right. So
Amen.
It's all perfect. Yeah,
Amen.
I'm so bad. I shouldn't say this out loud, but your write-up that you gave me, I only read it like 10 minutes before we went on. Right? So it's like, and then it's like, oh, because
when I got the 10 minutes, I had pulled my papers out and had them on the table over there, but I hadn't read them. So I was like, oh, maybe I should look and see what I said I was going to talk about. And, so I had the concept in mind, but even without a topic.
Yeah, I know. Because I usually don't either, but it's like today I felt like I should really read what it says. let me read what it says,
do you remember, I don't know, I can't remember what this was, but I just have this memory of when I was a kid. It was like there were these in the back of comic books, like you could send a small amount of money in and you could pick, I want this or this or this, or I'll take the surprise box.
Mhm.
You need to do a show with the surprise box.
Exactly. Because, truth be told, every show is a surprise box for me, because I'm just open to whatever shows up, whatever energies come in, whatever we want to talk about, whatever, questions
Mhm.
people have. I just go with the flow. It's like whatever it's going to be right for everybody. So, it all works. It's like I'm just in the flow. I'm not a control freak, as you know. I mean, I am in other areas, but I'm not a control freak on the show, so it's which is amazing. I'm just like, yeah, let's just see what happens. Let's just see what's going on. Kim says that activation, I've been feeling a pressure in my throat and it just released. Awesome. Good.
That's wonderful.
All right, so any other words of wisdom, Beth, before we go? Because now we're just chit-chatting, and we could chit-chat for like hours, but go ahead.
Yes, and we have done that before. Stay open, everybody, to the manifestation of the miracles in all the ways that they present throughout the course of your day. The more that you notice them, the more that you will receive, because you're opening your conscious awareness to that frequency. So even if it's the smallest thing, from getting that perfect parking place to thinking you were going to be late, but you arrived just on time, something you've eaten 1,000 times and today it tastes like so magnificent. Just notice that. By bringing your awareness to the way that miracles are showing up, blessings are showing up, gifts are showing up, you're going to open yourself to a greater receptivity to the higher, bigger miracles that want to come through. So start from where you are with what you have available right now to tap into the frequency of the experience of this life that you seek to have, no matter what the outer conditions are.
Beautiful. I love it. And if you'd like to work, more intimately with Beth, check out the packages. Again, package A and package B at alara.at/show/Beth9. And I'll be posting these up on YouTube and the podcast shortly. So if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so, because all the videos are there. You can always go back and watch or listen. You might want to go back and watch and listen to that activation again. I would give myself a day or two, just because you're still integrating, right? Do that again. And of course, like I said, please do work with Beth if you can, because this was some powerful work. Okay. All right. So thank you so much, everybody, for all your questions, comments, and feedback. I know we didn't get to everyone, and I do apologize for that. But we did get a lot. And so everything that, that came through for each of the callers, please, if that resonated with you, please do that process. Please incorporate that into your daily ritual and daily practice as well. It's going to help you. It's not going to harm you in any way. Okay. So if it resonates with you, use the wisdom and guidance in the process from all of the other callers, even if you didn't get called on today. Okay. All right. Wonderful. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you again, Beth. This was awesome.
Thank you, Alara.
So much fun, like always. And please don't say you're not going to do another show. Oh my God.
Well,
I'll miss you.
I mean, that's what the energy is now, but it could change. It's just
true. It could change. I might, I might change the format of stuff I do too. So who knows, right?
Right. And it's you. So I don't know. You get me to do things that I didn't think I was going to do. So
there you go.
Connection is miraculous.
Yes, absolutely. So we will see what happens next. All right. So thank you so much, everyone. Until next time, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Be the miracle that you are. Bye for now, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Much love and blessings.